Hey, welcome to Spirit Soul Sense, Information for Your Soul. I am Shareece, and I have a couple other videos about being in a toxic relationship, something that was unhealthy, and I really just want to create more space to have like uncomfortable, difficult conversations about what it's like getting out, the recovery process, and like when do you ever really get healed? On my other videos, some of y'all have left comments about how you're in something similar, how you're getting through it, how difficult it is. And I just want to reiterate and remind you that it is a process, it's difficult. And for me, it's been years in the making. I didn't just leave one day. That was the end of the story. I am over a year out from the end of the relationship, and I'm still in process, still becoming a better me. So based on the title of this video, you can get some sense of where I'm going with this. I just want to say to you, it's really okay to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. And if you miss your ex, that's like part of the process too. I think it's perfectly fine to miss someone. In my case, it wasn't 100% negative all the time. I like to describe it though as an unhealthy relationship that was like punctuated with euphoria or good times, but overall the reason we're not back there is because it's not something that was working. It just wasn't working. I often reference the book Women Who Love Too Much because I think it really maps out everything that you need to do in order to leave and to stay away and to not enter in another relationship that's similar. I also think that there's like certain levels, and being in the relationship and not realizing that anything is unhealthy is one of those levels. And then when you realize it's an unhealthy relationship, that's another level. You get to another level when you're like, I should leave. This isn't working. This doesn't make me feel good. I should leave. And then you get out of the relationship eventually, right? Between those two levels can take a very long time, and several times, in my case, more than 7 times of leaving and going back. And then once you're out of the relationship, like for good, right? I would consider myself over a year, almost 2 years out of the relationship. Like I've been gone for good. I don't want it anymore. And I think, after you leave the relationship, there's a period where you wish you were back in it. You wish that you had the comfort. You wish that you had the security. You wish that you had like this false sense that someone cares and loves about you. And then eventually you get to this level where you don't want that anymore. Like there's no desire for your ex anymore. And you can just have sometimes random feelings of nostalgia. In a sense, I think when you get so far removed from the relationship, it's easier to remember that there were good times, and that it wasn't all bad. But I think it's much more helpful to just look at the relationship as a whole. The relationship was not working. It was not healthy. And yes, there were some good times, but you don't want that. I don't want that. Even bigger than that is love, I think. And I was sort of hesitant to like talk about the love part because I think there's no opposite to love. Love just is. And if you really love someone, then you're never going to stop loving them. I don't think that's how love works. Like if you started loving someone and then now you hate them, I would argue that you didn't really love them, who they were. And so, I still love my ex. I still definitely have love for him, want him to be happy and successful and all those things. And I think that part is okay too. I don't have to hate him. I genuinely care for him and his well-being. I just know that we cannot be in relationship together. And that would include friendship. Like we are not in a space where we can be friends. And usually, sometimes I'm perfectly okay being friends with exes. Once there's clear communication and honesty and genuine care, I think those relationships can transition to friendship over time, and you can, negotiate the parameters of those relationships. I have not found a way to communicate in a healthy way with my ex. period. And I'm sure some people have found this, especially, you know, in the book, Women Who Love Too Much, they talk about the men's perspective. And some of those men got help and healed and stayed in their relationship and stopped abusing their partners. Everyone does not get to like that level of maturity, and you have to know what you're dealing with. And if you're dealing with someone who can't, then just love them from a distance. Just love them from a distance. And so 2 years out, I'm single, right? Mingling, having fun, and still love my ex. Sometimes miss him, miss the conversations we used to have, because we had a lot in common, and so we definitely had like some fun times. You know, my whole goal with this video, with the video series that I'm doing on toxic relationships, is that you feel a sense of community here, that you know that you're not alone, that it is hard. This is a challenge to maintain like leaving that person alone and allowing yourself to grow and flourish outside of that. It's a process. And I just want you to know that you can come here, you can leave a comment, you can send me an email. One of my goals is to really honestly create a real online community around this, because it's hard, you know, it's hard. And to talk to people who don't really understand and then just want to, you know, victim blame you, it just ends up being like this really difficult process. And so my goal is just to share, to normalize it. You're doing the best you can, right? You know, when you know better, you do better. And so you are exactly where you need to be. You're in process, and you will get to where you want to be. Just keep at it. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Show yourself the most compassion in this process, because any kind of negativity is not going to help you on this journey. You've got to find your community, the people who are going to be kind to you as well. And that's it. Like, that's it. So I'll probably have another video coming out about this topic, because I feel like there's so many aspects of it that I haven't talked about or touched on in my other videos that I want to cover, and be able to see, you know, who all relates to it, if it resonates with folks. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.